Hi, my name is Chief Petty Officer Burris. I'm with Engineering Systems School CPB staff at Training Center Yorktown. This video will cover the removal and installation of the MTU 8V396TE94 high pressure fuel pump and injection timing. This task will normally be performed a part of almost scheduled maintenance and as of corrective maintenance upon failure. This video is for familiarization with the task and shall not take place of official procedures promulgated by the patrol boat product line. Ensure you follow all safety guidelines and procedures outlined in all MPCs. Before removing any components or fuel lines, be sure to label items for the ease of installation. Remove all injector leak-off lines. Disconnect all interferences on the top of the engine. There are no particular order in which these need to be removed. It is best to unbolt and disconnect before moving components to the intercooler. Finish removing all high-pressure fuel lines. Remove fuel and oil lines from the injection pump. Remove pump mounting bolts. Mount lifting jig to the constant pressure delivery valve. Lift the actuator end of the pump first to clear the oil drain tube. This must be done before the pump slides aft or damage will occur. Be sure the retaining ring in the drive coupler is installed on the side closest to the KGS end of engine. Lubricate and install new O-rings on the oil supply and drain pipes. Install the drive coupler sleeve. Lubricate and install new O-rings onto the plug-in sleeve and install into the engine.
When replacing or reinstalling the fuel injection pump, proceed in accordance with the MPC.
Remove cover and loosen the timing gear stress bolt one turn and strike with a soft metal hammer to release lock rings. The fuel pump shaft is now disconnected from the gear train.
With the injection pump removed from the engine, lock the injection pump with the locking screw located at the drive end of the pump. This image displays how the locking pin locks the pump drive gear into alignment. There is only one recess for the pin to lock into on the drive gear.
When installing the pump, keep the actuator end of the pump slightly elevated and slide pump into the drive coupler. Then align the oil drain pipe and level the pump into the saddle. Lubricate with engine oil and install the 6 saddle mount bolts. Once all mounting bolts are loosely installed, center the pump by measuring from the pump sides to the inner side of the intake manifold. Equal measurements on both sides of the pump will indicate a centered pump.
Unlock the injection pump with the locking screw. There is no torque value. Do not over-tighten.
Using the torque pattern provided, tighten all mounting bolts to the initial torque value.
It is important to refer to the current maintenance procedure card or technical publication for tightening specifications and tolerances. These change from time to time by the manufacturer or other authority.
Then tighten to the final torque value. Finish installing the fuel supply pipe. Remove the lifting jig. Remove A1 fuel injector and install the measuring jig. It's important to rotate the engine in the direction of engine rotation whenever setting timing position. This eliminates any gear lash in the gear train that could give inaccurate readings. Install dial indicator and tighten set screw. Bar the engine in direction of engine rotation until the dial indicator precisely reads the maximum reading and stop. Check if both A1 intake and exhaust valve rockers are loose. This will verify firing top dead center. Zero the gauge.
For start of delivery for your engine, see Block 23 of the birth certificate for your engine.
Bar the engine against engine rotation until the stroke to be set is exceeded by a few millimeters. Bar the engine in direction of engine rotation until the stroke set point or crank angle before TDC is achieved. This sets piston position for start of fuel delivery. Remove the securing link for A1 constant pressure delivery valve and then remove the valve. Install the measuring jig and insert dial indicator. Rotate collared bush against engine rotation until the dial indicator reads the minimum reading. Make sure the dial indicator is preloaded and is actually resting on the pump drive shaft. This is your starting or 0 point. Rotate collared bush and engine rotation until the pre-stroke stamped on pump is achieved. Tighten stress bolt to initial torque value and verify timing.
Bar the engine against direction of rotation approximately 45 degrees. Tap the stress bolt with plastic mallet several times to reset the weights in the ejection timer. Bar the engine in the direction of rotation until dial gauge on the fuel injection pump indicates the reading stamped on the fuel injection pump. Verify the position of the crankshaft and ejection pump. The indicator on cylinder A1 should indicate the start of fuel injection.
If the timing is still in parameters, continue torque procedure and verify again that the timing is still in specifications. Lubricate and install a new O-ring on the injection timing cover. Install cover. Tighten bolt to specified torque. Remove measuring jig out of A1 constant pressure delivery valve port. Lubricate, install new O-ring on the constant pressure delivery valve. Install delivery valve and tighten to torque specifications. Install securing link and tighten. Remove measuring jig out of cylinder A1. Lubricate and install new O-rings onto the thrust screw. Install new CE rings onto the injector nozzle. Install thrust sleeve and thrust screw onto the injector. Ensure locating pin is engaged in the groove in the cylinder head. Using the fuel nozzle installation tool, install the fuel injector and tighten to torque specifications. Reinstall interferences on top of engine. There are no particular order in which to install them. Recommend loose fitting all components and wiring harnesses. Once satisfied with installation, torque all components. Reinstall high-pressure fuel lines, leak-off lines, and valve covers using torque specifications.
Once all installation is complete, conduct a performance test to make sure repairs were successful.